Thanks, Mike.
But I would like to invite some reaction panelists who hopefully we have chairs for. If not, I can get up. And G. Scott Chandler, the Vice President and Global Head of Licensing and Early Development Safety at Genentech Roche. I'll ask each of them to say a few words before we open it up for a robust Q&A. Jessica Langbaum, Principal Scientist at Banner Alzheimer's Institute. Mark Trushheim, Visiting Scientist at MIT Sloan School of Management. And L. Kioki Williams, Professor of Medicine, Wayne State University School of Medicine. And we found a phone. I can stand somewhere else. Yes, Mark. So maybe in the order that I just introduced you, if you'd like to introduce yourself in a little bit more detail, your perspective and your few comments before we move on to the free-for-all. So, Scott?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Scott Chandler from Genentech and Roche, and I lead a group focused on translational safety and early development, really trying to understand the mechanisms behind toxicity and how we can utilize that understanding to ultimately impact how we manage risk and toxicity on the programs. So I wanted to talk a little bit today in response to the discussion so far about how do we enable precision medicine from the perspective of personalized safety. Next slide, please. So what is, disclosures first, obviously I work at Genentech and Roche, and these are my opinions, not necessarily those of the company. So what is personalized safety? And to me, this is really about maximizing the benefit-risk balance, finding the right medicine for the right patient at the right time, and really how do we use that information to manage toxicity. And I think you've seen this theme already today so much that patients expect this, the health authorities require it, and ultimately good science demands it. We're asked to talk about some examples, so I won't spend time on this today because we already heard great examples from Abacavir, which I think is as we heard, the poster child story, if you will, for really pinpointing a risk factor for toxicity. We also heard about clopidogrel as well, so I won't spend some time on that. But what I really think is important, and we'll get into the discussion a little bit more about this, is how do we actually continue this approach to really ultimately impact the labeling and how we utilize these medicines and really try to bring the personalized component to, from my particular perspective, managing risk and toxicity. And it's clear we've heard today from multiple speakers how important this integrated approach is, and really just wanted to call out probably the overriding need for the infrastructure and the roadmap, and just call out one particular document that's just come out in the last year that really lays this out quite nicely. All of the key aspects of the science, the technology, and ultimately the impact on the label that all of these efforts should ultimately have to make a difference for the patient. So trying to keep the introduction really brief. Hopefully if we get into a little bit more of this later in the discussion, and I'll stop there.